Juggernaut.
Hello, welcome to another Random Select. Today we are going to go for Nintendo 64. We haven't done N64. I am going to be using emulation. I do have my real N64 over there, but recording camera and audio and N64 means that I'll have my back to the camera here, so I could ruin the video by not putting my beautiful sexy face on it, and I'm sure you wouldn't want that, so I decided I'm going to go for emulation today. So even though the game might not be entirely accurate as it is on a real system, you'll still get an overall impression of the game. So 10 minutes on an N64 game picked at random. At the end of it, I'll decide whether I want to play it again or whether I'm going to let it go to game over. So without further ado, let's pick a game. Hoi. Itoi Shigesato no Batsuri number 1 Ketai Ban. Okay. Yeah. I am gonna. Oh shit. Uh-oh. That sounds very Japanesey, and it sounds like it's gonna either be a fishing game or it's going to be a random RPG. So let's pick out the file. Let me just have a little look at this, because it might be totally unplayable for me. So I'm just going to look it up on Google. Okay, so it is a fishing game. Originally released for the Super Famicom. You know what? I might actually be able to play this, so let's give it a go. Okay, so let me get the game ready, and I will be right back. Okay, so for the first time ever on Random Select, we haven't got a game to work. So Itoi Shigesato no Batsuri number 1 crashed the emulator. This is why I hate Nintendo 64 emulation. It's so, well, for lack of a better word, inaccurate. Or shit. You could use shit. Shit's good. Okay, so for the first time ever on Random Select, we are re-rolling. So roll number 2. Let's hope it brings us luck. Here we go. Yes, we have a game here. San Francisco Rush Extreme Racing. So let's get this set up and we will be right back. Okay, here we go. Second time's a charm. We have San Francisco Rush Extreme Racing. Ready to rock. So as I mentioned earlier, this is running on emulation, so it won't be fully accurate to the real system. Nintendo 64 emulation is poor, to say the least, considering how long they've worked on it. That's because the Nintendo 64 had some unique features, like the fog. The N64 fog, for example, has been tried to be replicated, but they've never quite got it right. Along with 2D on N64 is totally off. And 3D, well, 3D is too clean and crisp on emulation. It doesn't accurately reflect the real machine. So bear that in mind, boys and girls. While we play San Francisco Rush Extreme. Select my car. It's dangerous. Okay, so here is another point where emulation is inaccurate. There's obviously things that are supposed to be written there, but the emulator doesn't pick them up. So let's just go for this one. Okay, and let's get the show on the road. So, I've started the timer. I've started the game. Rush! Okay, so the first impression of this game is, oh boy, were N64 versions of games muddy texture-wise compared to their PlayStation and PC and Saturn counterparts, everything has this kind of interesting blur going on, very muddy, and on emulation it doesn't quite reflect it properly, so you get quite jarring texture changes and things on emulation. But still, as for the game itself, it's got very loose control. The cars slip and slide quite a bit. Feels a bit weird. And it's very hard. No, the opposition is ruthless. Okay. Well, the audio is fantastic, as you can hear. Really good music. '64, the C64 can make better music than this N64 game. But we won't hold that against it. It's a fairly enjoyable racer, to be honest with you. I'm using an Xbox controller, so it's not quite as accurate as the N64's control method would be via emulation, but it does the job. I'm gonna attribute the slowdown to the emulation and not the actual game itself. As I say, I'm not running on real hardware, so I don't know for sure, but it would indicate more like an emulation problem than a game problem. Well, the game is quite straightforward, and I mean that as in, well, it's a bit bland. But this is an easy course. It will get more difficult. And if we've got time, we'll do a couple more courses, so let's see how things go. Bonus time. You have to be very light on the analog. If you look at my controller input in the corner, you see how delicately I have to move my analog stick to turn these corners. It's extremely sensitive, and the car handle's quite loose. Which is a combination that bodes poorly for me. Because I'm like a bull in a china shop. I love to kind of crank the analog stick left and right as I go around corners, and you just can't do that in this game. You have to be very gentle, very delicate. Which is kind of ironic for a game that's based around smashing up a car and tearing around a track, really. Quite good audio spatial separation in the audio, but the audio is, again, it's rather bland and dull. I mean, the N64 was capable of creating musical masterpieces, and this, as I say, I've heard more magical Commodore 64 music.
What's your name?
Ooh, that sounds creepy. What's your name? What are you buying? What are you selling? Would you like some candy? Spell it, spell it, spell it, spell it. Somebody needs to do a remix of that music. Okay, so that was the first round of Rush. Let's see what else it's got to offer. So let's try track, let's try hard track. Let's just go for it, shall we? And that one looks a bit dull. Let's go for a city race course. We'll go for a different car as well. It's dangerous! Yeah, let's go for this one. Let's see what the handling's like in this car. Is it still very delicate? Whoa, I'm getting smashed up. Woo! There's a little bit more to the audio composition in this level. And the car handles a little bit tighter. Still rather loose as it whips around the corner though. And I still have to be gentle on that analog. And you've got to be really gentle on the analog as you go over jumps. And is it me, or is the fog not quite as bad on this track as it was on the previous? Hit the brakes, or hit the wall. Okay, can we change our viewpoint? Whoa, up on the C-stick. Drags us across the map. Why? Why am I bunny hopping at this point? Okay, right. Okay, you can change your view. Let's get a bonnet view. What the hell? Okay, you can see quite a bit of popping and clipping. Again, I'm going to put that down to emulation. I don't think the real game did that. That wouldn't pass quality assurance if it did. It feels like the handling's different from the cockpit view and the bonnet view as well. It feels like I'm not really turning, and then all of a sudden I spin out. Wow. Okay, so let's try that again. Whoa. Yeah, you go over one bump and you are history. You go up an incline in your history if you're turning a corner by the look of things. Still, it gives a good impression of speed. And I've certainly seen worse N64 racing games. Definitely. This isn't bad. It's a little rough around the edges. Emulation doesn't help. But it's still playable. Woo! Oh crap. Oh crap. Whoa, getting dizzy, yo. My car's a mess, look at it. Boof. Let's drive. Whoa, 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 shit. Into the barrier. Checkpoint. You have to excuse me, I'm not very well, so I'm a bit snorty and snotty and gritty. But I still wanted to make some videos. Because what else am I going to do when I'm at home and I feel like ass? Checkpoint. Oh! Oh, up on the grass. Checkpoint. I'm just scraping through it now. Ah! And spinning up. Whoa! Did you see that? The way that the polygons are designed on the N64 just made that road look bumpy as all hell. Do you see that? It behaves slightly different to the PlayStation's triangle system. Or was it no? No, the PlayStation had polygons, didn't it? Was it the Saturn that had triangles? No, it was the PlayStation that had triangles, and the Saturn had polygons. I'm pretty sure. Either way, the game looks a bit muddy. My time is up. So it's verdict time. Okay, so San Francisco Rush Extreme Racing. It's a port of an arcade game. It's got obvious N64 issues, such as, you know, blurriness, which is evident. Emulation certainly doesn't help. Control was a bit loose. But overall, quite a fun game. The 10 minutes went by very quickly. So, would I continue playing this game, or will I just let it go to game over and not play it again? I'll continue playing. I think I'd continue playing that some more. I don't know if I'd play the N64 version. I would probably just stick to the arcade one.